South Park and the Stick of Truth. What is there to say about this game? Well, what is there not to say about this game? It's South Park. You basically know what to expect from it. But yeah, review. So, this is going to be a spoilers review, just a heads up. I'll be covering everything that happens in the game. Which will probably be in the description also, but, whatever. Alright, so the game starts off with you being the new kid in town for South Park. And apparently your parents are talking about something with, they're thinking that if it will be okay for you to be here, which be you having this special ability, which becomes a big plot point around the end of the game. And so you kind of get settled in, and your parents are assholes, and they're like, fuck you, make some friends. And so you have to make some friends, and the first person you meet is Butters. Fucking Butters. You have to save his ass from some elf guy who apparently goes to tell his mom on you. Oh boy. And Butters is like, we're next to you, we should be friends. And introduces you to the Grand Wizard of the Humans of Zaron, Cartman. Which is weird that they make him the main character. Second main character, kind of, because he kind of sounds like he's gonna fuck everything over. But surprisingly, he doesn't. So, Cartman shows you around. There's Clyde, who mans the armory. Scott Malkinson, with the great powers of diabetes, manning the stables. Butters, Cartman's bitch, soon to be your bitch, and the Princess Kenny, the fairest maiden of the land. So, and then he shows you the human's most prized possession, Stick of Truth, which he is holding right now, as you can see. Now, the Stick of Truth is apparently whoever wields the stick controls the universe, which is why the humans and the Draw Elves are in this constant, never-ending war. Or something. I think that's right. Yeah, that's right. But then, suddenly, while he's talking, the Draw Elves attack. Oh no! And you have to defend, which is kind of part of the tutorial. And he has Clyde guard the stick. Terrible decision. So after you kick the asses of every single elf, the stick still got stolen. And because Clyde's such an incompetent piece of shit, he is banished through space and time, and Clyde, being a little bitch, is all like, you can't do that. And then eventually he just fucks off and goes home, but yeah, it's Clyde, and no one gives a shit. Although he will be returning later on. Foreshadowing. So, then, next up, it turns out that Cartman's three greatest warriors haven't reported for duty yet, and those warriors are Tweak, Token, and Craig. So, first off, you go to Craig, and he's all like, Craig's in detention for flipping off the principal, so you have to go to the other guys first. You go to Tweak. Tweak is in his family's little coffee shop, and freaking out because he has way too much shit to do, and he can't play right now, but if you get the package from Kenny's house, well, then you can, get Tweak and play, because you don't have time to finish all his chores. So you go to Kenny's house, and it turns out they're renting their garage to some meth heads. You go there, beat up the meth heads because they're retarded, and they think, even though you're a 4th grader, they think you're a cop, because you don't look like Tweak, the kid who normally picks up the package from fucking Kenny's house. So then after busting their ass, you give the package back to Tweak, who gives it to his dad, and turns out the Tweak family's coffee shop secret ingredient is meth head shit. Whoop-de-doo. Then continuing on the story to Token's house, And but the guard, he has a security guard, which I don't know why you can't just like fucking Facebook thing your whole inventory thing. You can't just fucking message Token on Facebook and ask him to let you in. But no. You have to fucking do shit with the security guard. The security guard has fucking pepper spray and years of training at the mall. Which means he probably has experience for Black Friday, and we all know how Black Friday is like in South Park. For those who have seen that episode. But moving on with what you've seen, you buy a gas mask from Jimbo, and you fuck up the guard and get his club as a reward. Then you get a token, and he drives off. So then you return to Cartman, and Cartman's bitching that Cray is in detention and yells at you to bust him out. But before doing it, he teaches you magic spells, which every magic spell in the game is barding. Yep, of course. And so he teaches you Dragon Shout, where you harness all of the fart in your body and Dragon Shout, as Cartman would say it. And then he gives you Princess Kenny at your disposal. And you kind of just, go Princess Kenny to the school. And however, the school is guarded by hallway monitors, which will, they're all ginger, so you gotta be careful. Don't like ginger you or whatever. I don't know what gingers do. They're like scary people. They'll like infect you with their gingeriness. And so basically, you get the brass key. Then you use the brass key to get the silver key. The silver key to get the gold key. And then you have to fight the boss Ginger, who they say, according to Butters, has a freckle for every kid he's suspended. And then you beat the shit out of him, recreating the rest of the kids in detention from Mr. Mackey. And you run off into the sunset. Except it's not really the sunset, it's still like daytime. But anyways, after that shit ordeal, you have to go out to get, it turns out that the stick is still in the hand, it's not in the hands of the Draw-Off King yet, it's in the hands of the Bard, who at first sounds threatening, but then you figure out it's Jimmy. And all scariness just kind of goes away. It's Jimmy, he's not really threatening at all. Then you go to the Bard's house, which is the Inn of the Giggling Donkey. And you go down to the basement to try and get the Bard, but it's a trap. And the Bard does shit. You escape from the basement, save Cartman, who's a fucking pansy and can't handle a couple of draw elves. Then you fight some Bane wannabe kid, go upstairs, save Princess Kenny from getting raped, and then get a stick of truth back from the Bard. But not after fighting him in a battle and stealing his crutch as a weapon after beating him up. Then afterwards, you head back to Cartman's house, return the stick of truth into its rightful place, and all is good hunky-dory stuff. But then you have to, go to sleep because it's nighttime now and your parents are asses and they'll ground you because you're in the 4th grade, and that's what happens when you're in the 4th grade. But that night, you get kidnapped by aliens and shit, and they try to probe you with their dick probes, and as you're going by, you see that Clyde, Mackie, and Mr. Slave are all getting probed too. So send out this little white cock probe, which you have to mash A to clench your sphincter, and you blow up the white cock, and then a bigger blacker cock, no joke, comes out and then tries to fuck you up the asshole to probe you, because apparently that's how aliens probe you. They shove a cock up your butthole. Then, after doing a ridiculously hard mashing thing, you blow it up and the aliens run away because your sphincter powers are so grand. And shit. Oh yeah, and I forgot. Cartman also teaches you... Hey, does he yet? Yeah, he does. He teaches you cup a spell where you fart in your hand and throw it. You can eat right before you get to the end of the Giggling Donkey. There's something I forgot. God damn it, I knew I'd forget something through the review, but oh well. So anyways, back to the aliens. You meet Randy, who apparently knows how to get out, so, but however, since his sphincter isn't amazingly strong enough to break the Cox probes of the aliens, you have to do it, and he tells you what to do when you have to do some bop it shit. And after doing all the bop it shit, you free Randy and try and get out of there, but then you fight like the flight alien people, you beat them. Then the UFO crashes into South Park leaking green goo everywhere. And then you wake up the next morning as if it never even happened. Except it did. So then the next morning, before you get to go outside, Cartman busts down the door and like, goddamn, you elf. And apparently Kyle supposedly stole his stick in the middle of the night while the earthquake from the UFO happened, which apparently is cheating, according to Cartman. And so you gotta go recruit more people. And Cartman gives you the task of recruiting the goth kids, and, well, the goths. So you go to the goth kids and like, sorry Lena, we don't play Dungeons and Douchebags. Fuck off. But then you do some goth stuff like buy goth clothes to go impress them, but when you're done, oh yeah, you get cigarettes and some dark roast coffee to impress the goth kids to let them join Cartman's humans. And then before you can go to them, the elf people stop you and they're like, come with us. So you come with them to the elvish forest landing where you find out that Kyle is the king of the draw elves and Stan being his best friend, and you see the bard and yada yada yada. Now Kyle, according to Kyle, Cartman's actually cheating and he's hiding the stick, tricking you into retrieving remembrance, which is also cheating. So you're kind of locked in between this thing on the bother to choose sides. He goes, recruit the goth kids, but recruit them for us. So now you have a choice. After recruiting the goth kids, you kind of got to choose. Do you give them to Kyle and the Drow Elves, or do you give them to Cartman and the humans? And no tough decisions. But then after that conversation, you get Stan and the Bard as a part of your team. Oh me, oh my. So then you go back to the goth kids and like, oh, you may look goth, but you need to prove that you're goth. You need to prove that you're against society. So they give you a big sign that says, fuck the conformists, and they tell you to put it in the middle of the PTA meeting, take a picture of it, and then show them to it, and to prove that you're goth. So you go to the PTA meeting, the parents are pissed because apparently with the UFO crash that is, the big bad government guy, Pearson, wants to hide the UFO crash because apparently it happened somewhere else sometime. And the goo, and you can't let it happen, so they cover it up and they do a cover-up story that is a ginormous Taco Bell is being built there, which clearly isn't the case. It doesn't even look like it when you look at it, but whatever. So apparently all the parents are pissed that since the Taco Bell is being opened, school is canceled until it's being built, and they get pissed and they run out angry and shit. But then Randy sees you try to put up the fuck the conformist on the PTA meeting thing. And he's all like, wait, you can only do this if you do this shit for me, but first I shall teach you a real fart move. And so apparently now some enemies can like block your fart attacks or whatever. And he teaches you the sneaky squeaker, a move where you can control your fart to distract your enemies. Yeah. So that happens, and then you go to the Taco Bell site, where some enchilada shit goes down. Guy gets shot because he asked the question if the Taco Bell is going to have enchiladas. The government doesn't have a thing for that, apparently. And then you get into there, and you see them talk about how the goo from the UFO makes everyone gasp. Nazi zombies. And then they recorded their conversation right on tape, and they said they would just leave it alone and come back to get it later. And coincidentally, this is the perfect opportunity to grab it. But when you go to get it that night, zombies come and kill people. It's just like the Nazi zombies get the recording and get out of there with you, and you give it to Randy and figure out that what's going on. However, they don't know that it's actually a UFO crash site. And all they heard in the conversation is that the government's planning to blow up South Park to prevent the outbreak of Nazi zombies. So they think that Taco Bell thinks they can do whatever they want now that they have the whole Doritos Locos Taco shit going on there. And whatever. And then, so then he takes the picture of you with the sign, and you give it to the Goths, and like, you mean, look Goth, Goth, do you dance, Goth? And you dance Goth, which really all you do is bop your head, smoke, and drink coffee. But you do some Guitar Hero shit, so that's pretty cool. If I want to do Guitar Hero shit, you'd probably be playing Guitar A, or have Jimmy as your partner for the entire part of the game after this point. And he hasn't moved out Guitar Hero shit like. So after that, you recruit the Goths, and now you have the decision, recruit them for Kyle or Cartman. Now, I actually don't know what happens if you recruit them for Kyle, because I never did that part of the game. I always did it for Cartman. So, my apologies for that, but hey, I did Cartman, and if you do Cartman, then you have to go to the school where apparently, Kyle is holding the stick of truth. She attacked the school, doing the school shit, and when you eventually meet up with Kyle, oh yeah, you probably have a battle down with Stan, which is cool. Then after fighting Stan, you fight Kyle, you beat up Kyle, and well, that's it. And then, I'm like, alright, apparently according to Twitter, or is it they call it the Carrier Raven, or Carrier Bird, one of the two, the signature is in count disc, but the discs have no parts, stuff to put in it, they're just flat parts. But then you see a thing that says, look in my locker, on Clyde's desk. So I told you he'd return. And you open his locker and there's an evil recording video that apparently Clyde's gotten his hands on the Nazi zombie changing do thing. And there's raising an army of the darkness. And he had to take the truth. And Cartman, and like, but Clyde, Ryan comes like, advancing death, space, and time, and now he's fucking pissed. Which is the truth. And you go to Clyde's house, you barge down, and you see this ginormous ass fucking castle, and you recruit like thousands of students. Well, you see a cameo from the Vamp Kid leader in that scene. It is cool. And then you kind of sway past your bedtime, you gotta get home. So you get home, and then you get to sleep for tomorrow, so you can like steal the stick of truth back. But then that night, underpants gnomes come and steal your underpants, but your kid takes no shit from no one. So he bites them, then they're like, oh shit, they can't take this guy, and he's too big. So they throw glitter or something at you and shrink down to baby size, to their size. Take them on, chase them to the mouse hole in your bedroom, which your parents seem to be having sex, so you can hear sex noises. Yeah, sex noises from them during the whole thing, ordeal. But you eventually end up in their bedroom, fighting the gnome wizard that, changed you into small, on your parents' bed, underneath them while they're fucking, which you can see some nudity there, which for all you people who like the fat tube paper cutouts. Which, at one part in the game, your dad's testicles, like, fly in, and you have to do some Matrix shit and dodge your father's testicles from slapping you in the face. Oh my god. But afterwards, you didn't turn big or small afterwards, but the little elf's like, the goo isn't regular goo at all. It's the secret and he's about to see something that he gets crushed by your mom's boobs, and then you get crushed by your father's testicles. Again, currently his testicles are back for revenge. And then it fades to morning, where your guy's sleeping. And, he wakes up. So then apparently there's a meeting going on in the Elven Kingdom. And Kyle explains about Clyde and shit, and they need more people. And they need to recruit everyone they can, the Pirates, the Federation, and the girls. And so, you were given up the task of recruiting the girls to beat Clyde. And so when you go there, you have to save some girl from being beat up by a bunch of boy girls and save her Justin Bieber doll. Afterwards, she takes it to the girl council, which has Wendy in there and a bunch of other chicks from the show. Cool. Which then, they're having some problems finding out who this two-faced bitch is, and so you have to do a bunch of shit. And I'm just gonna skip all the basic shit, like you dress up as a girl, or yeah, you pretend to be some guy. Boyfriend says she's a two-faced bitch, and she's not. Then you pretend to be like an actual girl going to an abortion clinic to get an abortion, where there's a bunch of Nazi zombie abortion babies, which you have to fight apparently Khloe Kardashian's ginormous abortion baby, whose biblical cord apparently is also Nazi zombie-fied, and it like just drain HP from you. Yeah. Then eventually you go to Canada, which is awesome because I'm from Canada, even though South Park's pretty offensive to Canadians. Because for some reason they're all drawn weird, and when you go to Canada it's all 8-bit, which is pretty awesome. I'm a big retro game fan, but retro Canada. And apparently the governor of Prince of Canada, the Prince of Canada is all like, I need you, if you want this to be, I forgot to explain the whole reason you go to Canada. You go to Canada because it needs this letter translated, which is in French. So you go to French, so I guess you're going to French Canada to get it translated. So then you go to the actual French Canada, and the guy's like, I can't translate this for no reason. You have to kill the dire bears, like bears, but they're not. So you kill the dire bears, and he's like, wait, I don't know how to read this language. If you want someone to read this language, you gotta give it to the guy that's been sealed away by the prince. So you go to the prince, and he's like, you want me to unseal him? I can't just do that. You have to kill, like, the Pope or something, or the Pope of Canada, or whatever, the priest of Canada, I think. So you kill the priest of Canada, you have the option of whether actually killing him and taking his testicles as proof, or not killing him and he'll give you fake testicles. I always killed him, because I didn't really like the way he looks. But it's kind of funny once you actually hit him to go into the fight with him. He goes, "What the hell? Who the fuck hits a priest?" Which I find really funny. But then you do that and you give him the thing, and he's like, "Nope, I'm not gonna do that because now with both of them, the gun guy and the other guy, the way I have absolute power." But then the girl's like, "Go to this guy," and you go to that guy in Vancouver, which is actually where I was born. You go to that guy and you go to the monks. They'll train you some real power so you can save him. So you go to the monks, who turned out to be Philip and Terrence, I believe their names are. And they teach you the ultimate fart move, Nagasaki, which is basically a nuclear fart. So you go to the caves, you free the French-Canadian guy, who translates the message for you. And you go back, and you're just gonna have the two-faced bitches, but like girls, they just forgive her. And, it's fucking retarded, but you're a good girl, so that's the main point. Then you rush to Clyde's base. You fucking bust in, kill Craig, who betrayed Cartman, because Clyde stripped Cartman and Kyle of their authority. And there's that. And then kick Craig's ass, and you have to kill Nazi Zombie's chef. You fart into an oblivion. And then, however, the big bad government comes, and they're like, "We need you for your powers, douchebag," which is their character's name. But then he says, "Douchebag, is that what you told them your name was?" And then he says what your real name was, but I forgot what it was, because I don't pay attention to that kind of shit. It was some, like, monk Asian name, like Chin Tong, or some shit like that. He's like, "Wait, we need the Dragonborn." Like, "Wait, you need the new kid for his farts?" He's like, "No, he has the biggest ability to friend people on Facebook ever. You know how powerful that would be in today's society?" And so that happens. I'm like, "Why do you play this game? What's so important about the stick? Like, whoever controls the stick, you control the universe, dumbass." I'm like, "Wait, what? I don't have to take orders from the government anymore." After he strips nude, and he's like, "God, get away!" He's like, "Join me." Whatever the character's name is, and we can be the most powerful people in the world. I'll even give you the stick, see, and then you're like, "No." And you're like, "We are bound together because we're awesome." Oh yeah, you know, so Cartman and Kyle as allies at one point. God damn it. And then once you do that, you notice that you get 3 members from each faction, and everyone has their own thing. One is a melee attacker, one is a ranged attacker, and the other is the leader character. For the humans of Zaron, you have your melee attacker, you have Butters the Paladin, ranged attacker is Princess Kenny, and your leader character is the Wizard King Cartman, obviously. And then for the Drow Elves of Zaron, your melee attacker is Stan, your ranged attacker is Jimmy the Bard, and your leader character is obviously the Elf King Kyle, who all have their respective abilities. My personal favorite being ones like Kick the Baby and Cartman's Cursed ability, and the Cartman's Magic Messiah. But Princess Kenny apparently betrays you because she's apparently the original inheritor of the Stick of Truth, which is explained greatly by Morgan Freeman. And apparently every single time you narrate something, he gets a freckle. But then afterwards, you fight Princess Kenny for the final battle, who has like the best theme song in the game. But then he drinks some of the green goose shit, and she becomes Nazi Zombie Princess Kenny, which you get into one final battle. And I have to say, for this final battle, you want to prolong it as hard as you can. Because eventually Cartman's like, okay, you battle the final battle and I'll stay back here. I don't want to fight this shit. And if you want to prolong it, in the order I personally like to fight Nazi Zombie Princess Kenny for your partners is Butters, the Bard, Stan, Kyle, and then finally Cartman, because once you go through all your companions, then Cartman comes in and saves the day, because eventually Princess Kenny will use some super attack that your partner will counterattack. However, something will happen if the partner cannot no longer fight after the counterattack and go to the next partner. And once all your partners are through, Cartman comes in and he's like, alright, new kid, it's just me and you, just like we started. And I think maybe if you choose Kyle for the whole Goth Kids thing, Kyle's your final character guy, maybe. I don't really know. But whatever, I do know for Butters, Princess Kenny summons Nazi Zombie and Death, and then Butters transforms into Professor Chaos and does a super ultra Chaos Blast attack. However, all the Chaos power wears him down. Then for the Bard, Princess Kenny does the Nazi Zombie rat friend things, but Jimmy uses his little flute and runs away with them. Kyle, she tries to drink more goo to make her more stronger, but Kyle's like, oh hell no. Kicks the baby, but he kicks Ike so hard that he hurts his leg and he can't fight anymore. And then eventually Stan, Princess Kenny is a Nazi zombie unicorn, but Stan slices the head open, but his dog Sparky kind of like takes it away, but it can't let Sparky eat that, so whatever. Then Cartman comes in, and then finally, after the long hard battle of constantly killing Nazi zombie Kenny over and over again, it's like, well, there's no way we can kill her, she just comes coming back. And Cartman's like, no, we have to bite the gentleman's oath. Which, if you don't, which I haven't told you about yet, the gentleman's oath is every single time you learn a new fart move, they always tell you never fart on a man's balls. But now you have to fart on a man's balls, and fart on Cartman grabs Kenny, lifts up his skirt, and he fart on his balls, causing a giant flash, turning everyone back from their Nazi zombie form. Which apparently they know when they happen, because one of them is like, Daddy, we're back! And he's like, yes, son, the Dragonborn must have farted on the princess's balls. And after that, everything's hunky-dory, and Kenny's dead and shit. Which, the first time you kill Nazi zombie Princess Kenny, they go, oh my god, you killed Kenny! You bet. Oh wait, no, he's back. Because I think you killed Princess Kenny like 5 or 6 times. But eventually, the battle's over, and then you see Cartman, Kyle, Stan, and you hanging out by a lake, and you're like, this stick calls their best friend to almost try and kill us. And calls him to die or whatever. It's like, it's too powerful for any of us. And they throw it into the lake, never to be seen again. And then eventually, they're like, okay, what do you want to play now? And they start naming, like, no, we should let the new kid say what name you want, what game you want to play. And then it says, press A to talk, which is cool. Because the first reaction you get is, my character can talk! Because the character never talks, and when you press A, he goes, screw you guys, I'm going home. And they're like, oh, what a dick. And that's the end of the game. But there's a bunch of side quests which I haven't gone over yet. For instance, there's multiple classes that you can pick, Fighter, Mage, Thief, and Jew, which would be cool if you choose a Jew class. Cartman never event friends you on Facebook. I would find that hilarious because Cartman hates Jews. But he probably still does. I don't know. I've only ever played as the fighter and the mage. And I'm still playing as the mage. I haven't been destroying it with the mage. I'm only beating it with the fighter. Because, the fighter has the ability of honor, courage, and the ability to kick fucking ass. Word by Cartman. But, yeah, that's South Park: The Stick of Truth. I hope you guys enjoyed my review. You probably didn't.